Welcome to the Socialize Forecast, Tuesday, November 5th. Thank you, as always, for joining me on the podcast. I have so much fun doing this, and I will say that it took Julie a year to convince me to do podcasting back in whenever it was 2021, when she was talking to me about it, and I kept saying, podcasting, I don't know, what would I contribute to a podcast? And look at me now, enjoying podcasting as one of my favorite things to do. So she took the time to convince me. We did our podcast together. If you don't know about it, we have a podcast together. I'll put the link in the show notes. And then I've evolved it into doing this social media podcast, and I'm loving it. So in the same way that she took a year to convince me of that, she has also been patient enough and taken a year to convince me to do something where it is a studio type of arrangement where I can offer my expertise to people who want it on a more regular basis. And I'm just so excited to finally have been able to say to her, yes, let's do it. And here we are launching it. And of course, because I wait until I'm really in the moment when I know I'm primed for something before I'll actually agree to it, let me tell you how much I am all in with this idea. I mean, all in. I am so excited about it, to a point where I'm revising my room here and planning what I'm going to share in the studio every week. Excited to meet people every week now. I am an extrovert and I love connecting with people in real life and on Zoom meetings. So I'm just really pumped for it. And I hope you're going to join. And if not, that's fine. I'm still going to be here doing the same. I'll be here on the podcast every week. I'll be in the newsletter. I'm going to be on my social media. This is just an extra place where I'm going to be able to, I think, help people more because it's more connected. And I think this idea of creating support within, just like I'm doing on my exercise classes now, it really feels like the right time. So, yay. And if you haven't clicked whether or not you're interested, please do so in the newsletter today. And let's see, did I want to talk about anything else? Oh, I did want to talk about one more thing before I launch into the trends. And that is, I noticed a video where the creator started with the end and then went into what happened. And I wanted to highlight this week because a lot of times I talk about hooks and how you can get people interested in your videos. And upcoming, we're going to do a whole workshop about how to give yourself the potential to go viral. So that's coming up in the next newsletter, and I'm going to be doing a workshop on it, a live workshop. And one of the tricks of the trade is almost like giving away the ending, and then by enticing people in with the ending, and then launching into the story from the beginning. So the creator that did this her story was she was going to pick up a puppy. I forget what state it was in now, but she was getting on a plane to go pick up a puppy, and she did this little story of picking up the dog, but she started with showing the puppy first and then went back and then did the whole story. Genius. Of course, it's viral. She hooked people in and they were like, oh, I want to see the process of you getting this cute puppy. So the whole thing is just validating to the things that I mention when I share things, and then I see them in reality when I see them on successful viral videos, and I get so excited about it. So I just wanted to mention that, because it is one of the things that I talked about when I said, what are some things you can do to go viral? And so, again, I love when there's some good validation. All right, next up, trends. Let's get into it. This trend is so funny. The first one, the suspect challenge. And I've seen it a lot. I'm so glad Julie put it in here this week. It's one of my favorite trends to watch. And you could have some fun doing this if you're in a friend relationship or a partnership of sorts. It could be a work relationship even, where the person's running and the person who's recording says something funny about the person that they don't know what's going to be said. So you have to keep it to yourself until you're recording. And then so it's like the suspect has a receding hairline, but he's not admitting it and saying he always had that same hairline since high school, for example. Or the suspect spends 20 hours getting ready to go out in the evening, and then she says that she's always ready first. So you can make some really funny statements about whether it's your friend, your partner, your work partner, whatever, and have and it's just a simple thing to record because there doesn't have to be anything polished about it. As a matter of fact, some of the more viral ones don't even have good lighting and everything's blurry. You can't even see what's going on. It's just the idea that the person is hearing this thing about themselves for the first time. So it's their reaction. And the whole thing is just super fun trend. There's that one. The next one is nice and easy, and it's did we eat today? And I can't remember. And so you can lip sync the words, did we eat today? And then the friend goes, I can't remember. And then you go to open the refrigerator, and that's when the transition to an outfit change happens. I love a good outfit change transition, and I think this is, you don't even have to be that polished on it. It's literally a cut. So you open the refrigerator, cut to the outfit change. And you could do it more fancy if you know how to do transitions. And I might have to try one where something happens when you open the refrigerator. I'm not sure. But I might play with that one and see if I can do a more upscale transition. But if you don't know how to do transitions, this is a perfect opportunity to do one that's a fake transition, because it's like open the refrigerator door and cut to yourself in another outfit. So that's a fun one, nice and easy. The Instagram trends are, first is dancing to the epic remix. Oh, it's so funny. Everybody dance now. Dump. And so it's everybody celebrating for something that you want to show off when the mood changes, when you get your crew together again, or when the mood changes when you're on vacation again, or whatever it is. It was really, really trending for a while on TikTok, and now it has hit Instagram. So go enjoy, because it's a good one. And you can have a nice dance party. Actually. Who am I going to do it with? Oh boy. The next stranger I meet on the street is going to be doing this one with me. I'm saving the audio. Okay. The other one is another trend from TikTok that's come back to Instagram, which is leaving your body. So the sound is you're showing off something that you see yourself coming back to life, or almost like leaving your body. So you're laying down and then you're sitting up when this thing happens. In this case, the long distance friendship depression is over, is leaving your body because you got back together with your friends that you haven't seen in a while. So think of something creative. You could do something that is definitely work related on this. When the orders are slow, and then you feel the anxiety leaving your body when all of a sudden a new slew of orders comes in. So you can do something fun with that. Nice and easy, the trends this week. And content ideas are fun for this week too. So we've got create a series. And a lot of times I'm challenging myself to think of new ideas for my own content. And that's what then inspires some of the original content ideas, because Julie will scroll on my page and see what new things I've been posting about. So 2 of them actually are, I will say almost all 3, but 2 of them are from my content, which is I was started doing on Instagram, where I'm trying out different exercise classes in New York City. And so I'm doing a series of rating the exercise classes that I'm trying. So this is an idea where you can think of a concept that you can make a series about. And is it tasting new snacks? Is it like, what is the series? I'm actually doing one for a client where I had my favorite hangry pets. I'm always like introducing them, but I have them doing snack reports, because I thought, well, we can collaborate and do some snack reviews of some of their favorite snacks. So that's why my room is full of unique and artisanal chips over here, because we're doing chips this week. Anyway, so make a series, figure out what the series could be about, and then you create it. It could be a series of new places you're shopping. It could be new restaurants you're trying. It could be a series about products you're trying. It could be whatever. You can go to town with that one. The next one is make us laugh. And that is channeling your inner comedian and making a funny video by telling a joke, doing a skit, sharing a funny story, or recreating a famous funny scene. Like you can find a lip sync funny scene and you can recreate it even. There are so many ways to bring your humor to life. And sometimes even if your page is not about humor, you can do something funny and surprise your followers. The other thing, this is a hot take. Are you ready? Giving away my industry secrets. But you can use a chatbot, can't even speak, Chat GPT, or one of those in Canva, the chats where it writes a script for you. You can tell it, write a funny skit about such and such, and do it in this type of voice, and make it geared towards this age group of people. You can put the information in there and get a skit up on the screen, and then you can revise it. So I do that a lot when I'm doing product videos, especially with these guys. They're so fluffy and soft. But I do that a lot because I try and make little skits for them. And I don't always have ideas for what these skits could be. And I don't certainly think as like a child a lot of times. So I get my inspiration and I'll have a little skit, and then I look at it and I think, oh, this could be funnier if it said that instead of this. So again, I always like to say, if you're going to use AI or use those chat bots or whatever, make sure you bring your own self to it. Look at it and say, is this really, could I make it better? Like, don't just copy and paste it, because that just means it's been done before exactly like that. And so you don't want to be that. You want to put your own spin on it, whatever it is. All right, there's a little tip for using AI. The last one is talking about making a small change, making an impact. All right, this is again, she pulled this from my recent, I won't call it a rant, but I was in a store, and every time I'm in a store and I have to go through the clothes to find my size, I always have to go to the back of the rack. And so it's like the front size is always tiny, and then I'm having to find my way back to my size. And I'm middle sized, and I still have to go pretty far back. Anyway, same thing with the jeans, the piles of jeans. I have to shuffle my way and disrupt the whole pile. So I just made a funny video saying I take, my little micro sizeism is taking the clothing from the back of the rack and putting it on the front, or taking the thing from the bottom of the pile and putting it on the top. And I got a lot of funny comments on that video, because I had some people that most were positive, like, thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. And then a lot of people were like, you're just making more work for the workers. To that, I have to say this, because it's a funny thing that I got that comment, and I'm not going to go back and make a video about it because it's not worth my time. But I'm not disrupting the whole pile. I'm not rearranging the whole rack and starting from the big sizes and rearranging everything to make that much work. It's literally, I take the back one and I put it in the front, just because maybe the next person that comes up to the rack will be a bigger size than size -0, and maybe they will feel good because their size is towards the front. It's just kindness for the next person. It's also a little, I don't know, maybe it's a little zing to the retail store of like, you don't always have to start with the tiniest size in the front. You could make some of the racks go in the reverse. Like, really, would it be that harmful to do so? I know visually maybe it's aesthetically pleasing to see things go from small to big, maybe. But that's just because we're programmed that way. And then someone came into the comments and said, oh, if I see the jeans on the top that are the biggest size, I will think they don't have my size. And I go, well, imagine if we thought that way in a bigger size, that, because the size 0 is on top, they don't have my size. I can't dig and look. Anyway, I just thought some of the comments were very telling of the two sides of the street people might be on when it comes to, I don't know, the retail experience. I was just trying to say equal time for all sizes would be kind. That's that. All right, let's get on to the featured tutorial for today. And I did get really into this teleprompter thing. And that the reason is TikTok came out with a new teleprompter feature within the app. So I said, oh my God, this is cool. Let's try it. Of course I try it. And I'm like, this is a piece of shit. Not good. It works terribly. If you're going to use a teleprompter, you want to either use CapCut or an app or something, because this TikTok teleprompter is for naught. It's no good. The text is too slow. It takes forever for it to get started. So you're always going to have to edit off the beginning of your video, because you got to be waiting until this text gets up to a high enough place. Also doesn't come up high enough on the phone. You have to wait till it's way at the top to even get the right eye line. And it goes too freaking slow. And it has 3 speeds, and the fastest speed is still ridiculously slow. So I don't recommend it. I made a video about it, and I said, here are my thoughts. Here's how it works. Wait, first I said, here's what it is. Here's how it works. And here are my thoughts. And then I got some comments asking me for a recommendation. So I'm going to, if I have not by now, post one about the CapCut teleprompter, which I think is much better, and just talk about the fact that there are other teleprompter apps and how they work. Now, let me just talk about the teleprompter for a second more. Don't use one if you really don't have to, because it takes a very practiced skill to be able to be authentic reading a teleprompter. This is not something every man on the street is going to be able to do. It's going to sound like you're reading, and it's not going to sound like it's really your voice. I can tell immediately when I think someone's reading a script or reading off a teleprompter. And even when I try to put something on paper and say I'm going to look at it and do it to make sure I get it exactly the way I want it to be, if I'm doing something for a client or whatever, I still struggle, and I'm pretty good. And I still can't feel like myself when I'm saying words that are read off the paper. So it's not a good idea to think, oh, I'm going to be like newscasters can do it, so can I. You're better off getting the thought in your head, saying it in your own words. Take a pause, get the next thought in your head, say it in your own words. Take a thought again, maybe have bullet points, say it in your own words, and then take to the editing room, as I say. Throw the in-between stuff on the cutting room floor. Cut it tight. This way, you don't have to worry about reading And then plus it sounds like a litany of you going on and on and on and on, because typically when people are reading a teleprompter, they do not leave space and they keep going and going and they keep reading just like that. And they don't finish a sentence, go to the next sentence, finish the sentence, go to the next sentence. Can you hear the difference even with me just doing that example? Hopefully. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Oh my goodness. I'm on a tear today, but I'm so pumped for what's coming. And I'm so in such a good mood about it. I feel really happy and inspired about it. So I hope people are going to be into it. And I think based on the response already, I know we have people that are interested, and there are some people that have written me messages saying, I cannot wait. Where can I sign up? Because I need your help more. And so I'm just so excited to be here for it. I think it's going to be just a fun adventure, and I'm ready. Let's get into a couple of the questions. First question comes from Robin, and it is a bit involved, but I'm going to read it. She edits in CapCut, and she wants to use a trending audio on Instagram. She wants to know, should she add it after on Instagram, or can she edit in CapCut? And she does like to schedule her posts, so she's wondering how best to accomplish this most efficiently. So it's a two-part question. Let me start with the first thing. If you add your music in CapCut, on Instagram, typically when you post it, if it's attached already, when you post it to Instagram, Instagram does have this feature where it recognizes it and then it adds you to that music category, which is awesome. So I do this often. I let the Instagram platform put my video into the right music instead of searching through Instagram, trying to find the music and attaching it. So it's really a preference thing, whether you want to add it in CapCut first, or if you want to wait and then, if you want to add it in CapCut first, or if you want to search and look for it in Instagram and then add it. It's really personal preference. I will tell you, Instagram is wonderful at putting you in the category. So if you want to do it, if it makes your life easier, just add it on your Instagram. Add it on your CapCut project and then just post it. And that's helpful. But, occasionally I'll try and find the music on Instagram and attach it properly. It's usually involves more work because I'm searching for this exact music and then I have to get it at the exact spot I want it. All right. So you can let the app help you with that. In terms of scheduling your posts. Okay. Instagram allows you to schedule. So you can use it you can use the scheduler right in Instagram. And I honestly, probably if I was going to schedule my posts, I would probably do that. I don't typically do it. I line them all up in drafts. And then I just know when I look at my feed every day, did I want to post this video today? Oh yes, let me hit post on it. So I'm typically more of that style of creator. I don't use there's paid platforms you can use, and there's a lot of them. And what I can do is come back with some suggestions and ask around to some of my social media friends on what they use. I know Later is one. Oh God, I can't even remember some of the other ones now. I will come back to you with an answer to that. Okay, Robin? So table that one till next week. Let me do my homework before I just speak. Okay, now this next one comes from that Sky Morgana. Hello, darling. Is it normal that every video I post now has a message for me to tell me to promote it? And not only that, what's the rest? Oh, there's a long one. Hold on. Not only that, but lately the message says to promote it to get more sales, or that it's trying to sell her this idea. Okay, let me say it's going on and on. Her thing goes on, and I'm going to not read the whole thing to you, but I'm going to tell you. Of course, Instagram, of course, TikTok, they want you to promote the videos. So they're always going to put the little sales pitch up there. But especially, I get it on Instagram Reels like crazy. This video performed better than all your other videos. Put more money behind it, promote it. Because what are they trying to do? Make money. So my advice is, unless you really feel like you want to spend money promoting and doing a test, I would run it as a test. Say, I'm going to test and see if this gets me more sales if I promote one. Run your own test on it. Do I recommend promoting? Not necessarily. I think organic reach can be really great, unless you're going to put a bunch of money behind it and really push hard for promotion. So it's going to be an experimental thing. I wouldn't stress about it because you keep seeing it on your feed. All right. I would say, of course, it's going to try and sell you something. Just like you're going to get those. If you look at that pair of jeans, it's going to come up in your feed again and again. It's going to try and get you to buy that stuff. So don't fall for that, but just be aware. It's just frustrating. Let me see if there's anything else in this. I was hoping to pick your brain. La la la. I've been stuck thinking about deactivating, and my TikTok constantly has bugs. So she's having a lot of problems in general with her TikTok. We're going to be dealing with a lot of this in the studio. I hope Sky Morgana can join us in the studio, because when we start getting into these kinds of questions and they're way more detailed, that's where I'm going to be spending the time to find out the answers to the things and doing more digging for each person. I can't afford to do that right now because I have a bunch of things going on and I can't do it for every single person that just happens to send me a message. But I will be focused on the people that are in the studio to get their questions answered. Okay, nexty from Marie. Marie, let's see what you have to say. I'm just getting into social media. I'm not sure what content I want to promote. Where do you suggest someone start educating themselves? Oh, this is such a great question. Or utilizing what they should be utilizing to get into the swing. Facebook stories, Instagram, TikTok. Where does one start if they want to create content? This question I didn't even read ahead of time. And could I be any happier to see this question as the last question I'm going to answer today? Marie, I'm creating a studio where I'm going to help you and I'm going to handhold you right through the process of what you need to do to start creating content, with editing, with help, with templates, with weekly Zoom calls where you can meet me on FaceTime, Zoom. So that's what I'm creating. But in the meantime, if you want to get started, if you're just getting started, it's a good idea to watch some of the free workshops that I have on the website. So you go to hellosocialize.com. You can watch the TikTok course. That way you'll get versed on TikTok. I share a lot of information on that course and it's free. I have editing workshops starting with editing 101 on up to 111, I think we got to so far. Lots of free learning. So I suggest you start with me and my content and then watching tutorials, and you can watch them on my Instagram page or on my TikTok page, depending on what platform. But honestly, I think you're going to be most supported if you join the community, because we're going to have people who are in there that are experts in lots of different things, like the Facebook experts. They're leaning more on YouTube. So we're going to have all the support in there that you need, Marie. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. And I am so pumped. This is a big week. The official launch of the community will be on the 14th of November. But this week, you will get an email where you can sign up early at a discount. And that way you can get in it and start connecting with me. I'm so pumped. I'm going to leave you with that because this is too much fun and I'm losing the light. It's a good thing I put a candle here so that I can use my whole place is candlelit. Just here we go. It's like a seance. All right. On that note, have a very happy Tuesday, and I will see you back here Friday. But look for the Socialize Studio email that will be in your email box definitely by Thursday or sooner. And thanks again for listening. Hooray! Let's dance it out. See you soon.